the heart of the kingdom in Kansas City, this is KC End Zone.
It is the Lamar Hunt Trophy, named in honor of the Chiefs' founder in 1984, handed to the AFC champion. The team he founded has never won the trophy that bears his name, but for the second straight season, the Chiefs will have the chance to do just that in an AFC championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. As we welcome you to the KC End Zone, a chance to shake the ghosts of an overtime AFC title game lost to the Patriots 1 year ago. The Chiefs hosting the Tennessee Titans, 2:05 kickoff. The 2 seed meets the wild card 6 seed for that trip to Miami. John Holt, along with Rob Collins and Harold Kuntz, here to talk Chiefs with you as we get you ready for the Sunday showdown. And while the Titans, the last seed in, the last team to make the field, you wouldn't know it by the way this team's been playing, started the season 2-4. A guy named Tannehill, Ryan Tannehill, took over. 10-2 since then, including wins over the Patriots and Ravens. And by the way, thank you for the Ravens win. That gets the Chiefs a home game.
Keeps us here at the house. Yeah. And taking down those two teams on the road, it wasn't a fluke either. There was a straight-up beatdown from Derrick Henry and the Titans.
Yeah, you hope they don't like playing it on the road yet again. So, but you see this video of them beating Baltimore. I mean, they kind of came out, got some interceptions, got some turnovers, had some big plays on play action. And then Derrick Henry, you know, he's over there pop passing like Tebow or Dontari Poe.
Right,
so
right.
It's just a matter of, you know, these guys take advantage of the situations they're given. They get outgained, but they still somehow or another manage to make plays.
Yeah, indeed. And going on the road and beating those two teams, those guys have plenty of confidence, of course, coming in, and all based on 22. What he's done in the last 3 games, and 2 games especially in the playoffs, been magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, you see him this season and going into the season, or going to the end of the season, he has been absolutely amazing in coming down in games. He's even better in the second half, and I'm sure we'll discuss that later. But that game in Nashville, though, you saw it, 35-32, and everything that the Chiefs could have done bad, they did in that game,
they did.
And some.
And you had a front row seat. You were there watching the Music City Meltdown.
The Music City Meltdown at the home of the Music City
You and a
Miracle.
lot of Chiefs fans as well.
And about half the Chiefs Kingdom was there. That was the big trip they had. It was a back-and-forth game in Nashville, characterized by rare Chiefs miscues, the late field goal attempt. You had a botched field goal attempt, Dustin Colquitt. They had the intentional grounding on that one. Yep. Titans come back to get a late touchdown from Ryan Tannehill after he led the team back. There you see the blocked field goal. Harrison Butker couldn't do it. Time expired. The Titans win out of nowhere. 35. It was an RKO out of nowhere.
It was an RKO
32.
Out of nowhere. And, you know, really this game is kind of odd because it fueled both teams. Yes. And it's odd that a team can lose and then get fueled because the Chiefs have not lost yet and the Titans have been on a mediocre rise since.
Well, 2 things about that game. One, the special teams, talk about a meltdown, they really struggled. They've rebounded, I think. And the defense as well has turned it on. And we've talked about that in our past shows, about just the fact that Tyrann Mathieu has stepped up as a leader, even with Juan Thornhill out now. They have not skipped a beat. In fact, they've gotten better. So there's definitely an air of revenge.
A little bit. Maybe revenge, redemption. Some players are downplaying it a little bit, but not Anthony Hitchens. He's all over it.
Yeah, Damian Williams. Yeah, he was all over it along with Anthony Hitchens. They were all very mad. I remember being in that locker room after the game. That was the longest time Patrick Mahomes took to get to the podium. I mean, he had a long wind down time, but definitely Damian Williams, the running back, he winded down a lot. He looked very depressed, but now he's ready to get back.
You know, I can't have somebody beat up on me and then come to my house and then think they're going to beat up on me again. So at the end of the day, you know, it's going to be one of those games where, you know, people looking at them as an underdog, but I feel like we're the underdogs.
Yeah, he should. He should feel like an underdog. I mean, when you lose, there's just like they should have felt like an underdog in Houston. I mean, you have a situation now where these guys have to find any motivation they can to get to that one step to get to Miami. And any motivation you can use. I mean, you can be like Rashad Breeland and have a chip on your shoulder, like the shirt, or you can be like Damien and kind of be ticked off about that last game into now, but they're using any motivation.
You look back at that game, what's interesting, and I had to go back and refresh my memory, you would think with the running game that the Titans have, they would control time of possession. The Chiefs had the ball for 27 plus minutes. Now, you'd think they'd try to shorten the game, and we'll talk about Sunday, but that was interesting to me that the Chiefs were able to, well, they scored 32 points.
Sure.
And lost.
Yeah, time of possession, you can massage it any way you want because we know the Chiefs can score 4 touchdowns in 10 minutes, so time of possession gets kind of skewed a little bit. But remember, Mahomes was 100% in that game, didn't have the mobility, and that's why they got busted in the red zone. Didn't have a whole lot of red zone conversions, 5 field goal attempts by Butker, as opposed to those 7 straight touchdowns they did in the last game against the Houston Texans. Mahomes talks about playing the guys again this time and the differences.
Being that first game back off the knee injury, you don't know exactly what to expect. You trust the trainers, you trust all the doctors who say you're good to go, but you still don't know. You haven't ran at that speed with the pads on and gained speed. So definitely feel more comfortable now, kind of having the games under my belt, and been lucky enough to have been healthy this late in the season.
Yeah, what was most amazing about him and the team is they outgained the Titans by nearly 200 yards in that game and still lost. So you know that turnovers were the big issue, and one of those was Damian Williams with the fumble, and then, of course, the special teams miscues. But they also gave up big plays, too, defensively. Derrick Henry with a long run. That got him going. And then, of course, the fumble that was taken back to the house, which just got Damian Williams so upset. Patrick Mahomes, though, he was jump passing out there. He was doing his thing. It was just a matter of they couldn't finish at the end. But you saw Ryan Tannehill and the passing attack for the Titans all of a sudden become pretty quick and knowing what they were doing. It was amazing. So Mike Vrabel's got him well coached up now going into this game.
Unbelievably smart and talented play caller. I think 13 of his 21 years, his offenses have been in the top 10 in scoring. They know how to score. He knows how to put points on the board. You can see his relationship with his players. They love him, and they play hard.
Yeah, redemption game, man.
I'm just going to say, he looks like he could strap the pads on and go out and play now, doesn't he?
We saw him in practice, getting up close and personal with some of the guys.
He has 3 rings with the Patriots, and it looks like they're on a roll with the Titans. He's earned this game. The Titans have earned this game.
Let's not forget, you know who he used to play for, right?
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he scored a couple touchdowns in that end zone, too, at Arrowhead Stadium.
He's been there. So, yeah, I think he's a coach to be reckoned with. The Titans are a team to be reckoned with. I don't think anybody's looking past this team.
No,
Miami,
you
right?
can't. No. Given the history of the Chiefs in the playoffs, Coach Reed's history in conference game, 1-5, and then the last time they played the Titans in the playoff, we all know what happened there. Marcus Mariota throw a touchdown pass himself.
Yeah, I mean, do we need to show this? But we're showing it. I mean, you got off to a great start. Shout out Alex Smith for getting them off to a good start, but then the Titans somehow or another pulled that one through. Of course, there's the obvious iconic play on January 6, 2018. Alex Smith, the quarterback, getting the early lead, but they had the bizarre play right here. Marcus Mariota, of course, passing a touchdown to himself. You know, that happens often. Yeah, obviously. And the Titans have given Andy Reid fits throughout his career, even when you go back to his Philadelphia days. He's a 1-8 career record against the Tennessee Titans, the worst career record of any NFL opponent. Here's Andy Reid on the Titans.
Yeah, they're all different. Heck of a record, though, isn't it? Not very good. I mean, Ted was telling me about it. I normally don't keep track of those things, but Ted reminded me before I got in here that you guys would ask. So I got to do better on my end. My players, they've won more games than I have against them. You know, some of these guys. So it's you know, I'm just going to bank on them.
Oh, it's different this time. He's got 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
15, a healthy 15 under center.
A healthy 15.
Yeah.
I think that's right, and I think that's a great point that this will be a different team. We talked about this last week versus the Texans. It's a different team than the Titans saw week 10.
Right.
Health-wise, and I think mental-wise.
For sure. And they know what's coming. Yeah. They know they're going to give the ball to the freight train number 22.
You know what's not different? Derrick Henry. You may have heard of this gentleman all week and looking at your previews. There he is, 1,540 yards, 16 touchdowns. What's even more amazing, outside of the 188 in the last game and then the playoffs, 377, I think he has 1,270 yards just in the last 6 games. It's the best stretch of anybody. He would have been 5th in overall rushing just in his last 6 games. That's amazing.
How do you stop him?
Take the engine out. Cut the engine. Isn't that what the coach said?
Tie his shoes together, right?
That's what Anthony Hitchens said. Yeah, take the engine out. But here's the engine himself.
I think Henry, you know, obviously put together a great season, you know, done a lot of great things for his team, and they're really leaning on him. And I think the mentality is, you know, somebody's going to have to stop him. Somebody's going to have to make a tackle on him if we want to get to Miami. So, you know, it's one goal, one objective to win the game. But in order to do that, we know we got to we got to slow down 22, no doubt.
Keywords there, slow down, 22. I don't necessarily think the Chiefs have to stop him. I don't necessarily think they can stop him altogether, but you slow him down. You win first down, you put it in Tannehill's hands, although he's been better late. You put it in Tannehill's hands and then take your chances.
Here's an interesting stat, too. 35% of the plays he's lined up in, he's faced 8 in the box, right? That's a third of the plays that he's been in on. So that hasn't stopped him, apparently, right?
Right.
So I think your point is well taken. Slow him down, get other guys there. That's what Spags talked about. Get it to third down and see what happens from there. Third and long if you can.
Yeah, and another thing to think about, he's had 96 carries in the last 3 games. I think the most a running back has had overall was 100 carries in 3 games. He's got 96. He's up there. He could be fatigued, but I don't think he looks fatigued.
No, he doesn't sound fatigued either. Here's what he had to say about facing the Chiefs defense.
I think they have a good blitz package. Actually, obviously they have pass rushers. I think they're stout on the D line. Linebackers are physical. The back end, they have experience. So they're a great all-around group.
So one other thing he's good at is yards after he's hit.
Sure.
And the Chiefs are not good at stopping that. They're one of the last place teams in the league.
Right.
And he's right at the top. So, again, they have to work as a unit.
Most definitely, and he gets better as the game goes on. And it's going to be cold, obviously, on Sunday. And nobody wants to tackle a guy when it's cold, especially a dude that's 6'3", 220 running downhill, maybe 240.
And the defense knows and is well aware that they need to get better as the game goes on and get, as he gets better too. But one of those guys they may not have, of course, is Mr. Chris Jones. As we look at that injury report, there he is standing out there. He tried to give it a go on Thursday, and you see him doing a little stretching there, then did some stretching with the team later on. But as for what he feels about his situation, here's what he had to say.
Still day-to-day. Just exhausting our resources with Rick, the training staff. Just continue to build up to Sunday and see how I feel.
All right, guys, I think it's going to be much like last week where he goes out there pregame, see if he can push off. But Chris Jones wants to play, obviously, and I think he needs to play for his own sake moving forward.
But it's here that you got Xavier Williams back, Mike Pennell back, and, of course, you acquired Terrell Suggs. Also questionable LaShawn McCoy and Matt Moore, even though we wouldn't see much from those guys.
So what do you guys take away from the fact that Friday he came to the podium? The rule seems to be that if you don't practice and you're not going to play, you're not at the podium. Is that a good sign?
Well, I don't think it's a bad sign.
Yeah.
It gives him a chance, more than a chance of him not coming to the podium. But again, I believe it's going to be a game time decision when we see later today when he gets out there.
One person who came to the podium, Travis Kelce, he will play, made it very clear.
Yeah,
on the
he told us
offensive
that
side.
last week in the locker room. He said, hey, man, I'm playing no matter what. I'll get there.
All right, we're playing today, and we're glad you're with us on this edition of KC End Zone, turning the tide on the Texans. We'll look back, come back for the record books, and a play that wants Big Mo in the Chiefs' favor. You're in the end zone, Dirty Dan.
In Kansas City, you need a team that's ready for anything.
KCI is closed.
Fire truck on its side right
There's
now.
a tractor trailer, and it is blocking all the northbound lanes.
You need a team that'll be there with you through it all.
They said, we hit a patch of ice and the plane is no longer on the runway.
There is ice everywhere.
Fox 4 weather, always ready.
Haley from Shawnee wrote in and said, the 3 movers that came out to help me move into my new home were so amazing. They were super friendly, efficient, fast without being careless, and just had the most positive attitudes. Haley, we think you're amazing.
Never fear moving day again.
Keep the heat in your home's attic or walls this winter with highly efficient fiberglass blown insulation by Jetstream. Works with new construction or on top of existing insulation. Contact Henges Insulation and Fireplace and maximize your home's efficiency.
Volkswagen Lease Summit has gone bonkers and is giving you 2-for-1 BOGO pricing. Lease a 2019 Jetta S for her and get him one too for only $339 a month. Or lease the brand new 2020 Tiguan S for yourself and get her a 2019 Jetta S. Only $477 a month for both. Lease the 2019 Atlas S SUV for the family and get yourself a 2019 Jetta S. Only $528 a month for both. This is a buy one, get one sale you don't want to miss. Mix and match your favorite models at VWLeeSummit.com.
Don't miss Super Bowl 54, February 2nd, right here on Fox 4.
Lauren from Overland Park wrote in and said, they took great care of my property and my home they were moving into. It was a very smooth day, and I truly appreciate the 3 guys that helped me move. Lauren, we appreciate you.
Kansas City's You Move Me. Never fear moving day again.
Fox 4 is turning Sunday red.
KC End Zone at 8:30 a.m. A 2-hour KC kickoff at 11, and the post-game coverage online after the game. Your team, your station.
Back in the KC End Zone as the Chiefs get a second straight AFC home championship game, AFC championship game, first time in franchise history. But to do that, they had to come from behind, guys, in a rather interesting and, as it turns out, record-setting divisional round with the Texans.
Yeah, the game against the Texans was just absolutely bonkers. Harold and I are sitting next to each other in the press box. We just kept looking at each other. When all this bad stuff was going down, we're like, all right, maybe they can get over this one. Okay, no big deal. And then the second thing happened. Then you muff a punt, and then the Chiefs finally score, and you're like, all right, we got a chance.
2 4th downs were the key. The 4th and 1 where Bill O'Brien decides to kick a field goal instead of trying to go up 28-0. And then, of course, as you said, John, Dirty Dan Sorensen coming with a big play, stopping a fake punt, and then special teams turned around. You see this pop there that Darwin Thompson ended up getting. But the Chiefs, first team in NFL history to win a playoff game by 20 or more points after trailing by 20 or more points in the same game. And on the Chiefs comeback, here's Patrick Mahomes.
When you're playing in these type of football games, not everything's going to be great. You're not going to get everything the exact way you want it, but you have to find a way to win, find a way to fight. And I felt like this last game definitely prepared us with being down 24-0 of just finding a way to come out on top in the end.
Yeah, we heard Patrick Mahomes going over to the sidelines, getting the guys fired up, saying, hey, we got a chance to do something special, and backing up his words. You can say it all you want, but when dude went out there and did what he did, scoring 7 straight touchdown possessions, everybody believed.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to have belief in him when he's on his A game, and then you have guys like Travis Kelce around there that weren't dropping the ball like they did in the first quarter. They were ready to go in the second quarter, motivated, and they went out and proved it.
Second full season, 24 years old, and he commands their attention, doesn't
100%.
Special. I mean, it's incredible. So, but you mentioned Dirty Dan Sorensen and the big play he made that sort of turned the tide, although there were a couple of other plays. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, Dave Toub had a nightmare, and then it became a good dream in the second quarter, and it was all thanks to Big Dan Sorensen there. Mr. BYU himself, snuffing out Bill O'Brien's fake punt, and then that got him going. I mean, once you see things unravel, and you see it's led by special teams, and the offense can start going. I mean, Dave Toub was all over it on this play.
That was one of the most unbelievable tackles I've ever seen, on a special teams play. I mean, it was a solo tackle out in space, hard tackle, angle tackle, and then he has to stop him short for, basically a 2-yard gain. Otherwise, they get the first down. It was, I thought it was a good call. I really did. But Dan, I think he's been waiting all year for that play. He zeroes in on that guy and he's looking for that direct snap, and here it came. So, and he just was shot out of a cannon and didn't miss a beat and made a nice tackle in space.
Dave Toub thought it was a good play. I'm not sure Houston did. The city of.
Not at all. And the decision, I mean, maybe he thought he needed more points, right? The decision to not go for it on 4th down. I think Houston fans were mad because you either do it both or neither. Yeah. And you can't play it both ways in that situation.
The other big play, obviously, the McCole Hardman return.
That got it all started.
That got it going as well. Special teams, a complete turnaround there as the game wore on. All right, taking on the questions of the kingdom, what you most want to know about as we get closer, the clock ticking down to the AFC Championship game. You're in the KC End Zone.
It is time to make room for one more.
All you have to do is point.
Oh, you really are full service.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and we'll be at your house within 90 minutes. We come at your convenience.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Tough Shed buildings are designed to last through spring, summer, fall, or winter. For over 38 years, our teams have worked hard, manufacturing and installing Tough Shed quality in backyards across the country. Design your future shed, studio, or garage with our easy-to-use online tool at toughshed.com. Your storage needs don't stop with the changing seasons, and neither do we. So stop in, call for an appointment, or design a building online. Dream, design, build with Tough Shed.
We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we're here on our first vacation since we retired. We both love getting away, and having a non-stop flight allows us to get to our destination quickly and start enjoying ourselves, and Allegiant offers that. I'd never been to the Atlantic Ocean before. I wanted to christen our retirement by sticking my feet into the ocean. It was exhilarating.
We love being part of Barbara's story. Start yours today, only at Allegiant.com.
Hey, honey, I'm gonna go check that leak in the basement. I'll be back in a minute. Love you.
Well, I'd hate to have that wet basement problem. I'm sure the Olshan man has a solution.
We can help. With over 80 years of experience, Olshan can assess the problem and find the right solution. Call Olshan Foundation Solutions for a free estimate.
When it comes to solving water problem, there's only Olshan.
It is time to make room for one more.
All you have to do is point.
Oh, you really are full service.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and we'll be at your house within 90 minutes. We come at your convenience.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
We love Twitter. In the KC
we love
don't we?
connecting with our fans on Twitter and answering questions.
Yes. We love to tweet. We love to hear from you. And we heard from Jennifer Greenwood. What critical X factor must the Chiefs bring this weekend against the Titans? Hashtag end zone. I think they need a long memory to what it felt like last year walking off that field in the AFC title game. Chris Jones tweeted out, Stone Cold Jones after the game, we will be back next year. Here they are. I hope they remember that feeling.
Oh, you know it's stuck in their craw. They may be downplaying it in the media, but amongst each other, they know that this is their chance and probably the best chance that the Chiefs have had in a long time.
Anything else X factor-wise you see?
Confidence, man. They are a confident bunch right now. There's, you know, it's Chiefs fans. There's fatalistic feelings. They've been around for 50 dadgum years. It's time to exercise those demons. You got 15. They're confident to get it done.
50 dadgum years.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. I thought it was just 50 years, but that's just me.
We're on television. You got to go with the dadgum.
If I were to single out X factor just real quick for a person, it would definitely be Mike Pennell. Interior lineman. The Titans' interior line is nasty. Pennell's got to bring the nasty back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring the nasty. Bring confidence, bring a memory, and bring the nasty.
And swagger.
I like that.
Even if Spags doesn't know what it is.
Swag for Spags.
All right, next question.
Question for Sunday's AFC title game. Your guys' confidence level of the Chiefs' front seven. Are they physical enough versus Titans' O-line and tackling? Can they bring Henry down on first contact and not let him look like Christian Okoye, the former Chief, running up and down Arrowhead, guys?
Yeah, this question from Real RK, a big Chiefs fan in Illinois, been a Chiefs fan his whole life. And I think that front seven, as you mentioned, Mike Pennell is a great lead into that question. He has to step up, and they have to everybody has to be 11 on Derrick Henry to get it done.
Hat on hat. I think Anthony Hitchens says it best, as I alluded to earlier. You got to kill the engine. That's what they've been saying all day long. Steve Spagnuolo said, well, I can give you techniques on tackling here on the podium, but why should I? They know how to tackle, and they've become a better tackling team. You remember in the earlier season, they could not tackle. Let's remember the Colts game. Let's remember that first Texans game. They could not tackle. They've gotten better.
But don't get fooled by the play action. Because when you have a back like that you're expecting to run the ball, Tannehill could still throw it.
Keep their eyes on the helmet of linemen. Go up or down. That'll tell you if they're going to run or pass. And like the Honey Badger said, you got to want to tackle. That's going to be a big key.
The landlord wants to tackle.
He does. He's got to collect some rent Sunday, baby.
One quick final tweet here from T. Gray 111. Worried the Chiefs might be looking past a 6 seed to Miami? Hashtag KC end zone. No, I think they respect the Titans.
I'll tell you this right now, Tom, they ain't the 6 seed anymore. This is the AFC Championship. They're a 2 seed. That's what they are. There's no more seeds in the AFC Championship. Their confidence is at all-time high. You know why? Because they're looking at that trophy and they're looking at that Vince Lombardi trophy. That's where they stand. I'm done.
But they're looking at that trophy first, not that one.
You got to win this one to win that one.
At this point in the season, you can't overlook anybody because they're there for a reason.
They are absolutely there for a reason. More to come here. We're here for a reason. Get you ready for the AFC title game. We have our final thoughts, including the 4 things to watch for and our predictions on whether the Chiefs are Miami bound, and maybe we'll throw in who they might face.
Hey, all right. I like it.
At Nutter, connect with an expert loan officer. Just call or click.
We couldn't have done our home loan without Nutter.
I'm so glad to have used a hometown lender who's highly competitive.
Nutter's teams were rock stars.
The hometown lender, competitive, cared about us and our community. The total package. Plus, Nutter helped our family get cash back, so we have better monthly cash flow.
Nutter Home Loans, your home for cash back since 1951.
Right now, you can join Planet Fitness for just $1 down, $10 a month. But standing in your way is a force field of steel and glass. To enter, you must. Oh, I guess you just walk in.
Welcome to Planet Fitness.
Nothing stands between you and strength machines, tons of cardio equipment, and even free fitness training. Join now for just $1 down, $10 a month.
Now open in North Independence, Olathe, and Overland Park, Metcalf. Offer ends Tuesday, January 21st.
Fox 4, home of Super Bowl 54.
Lock cold out of your home this winter with high-performance fiberglass blown insulation by Jetstream. Works with new construction or on top of existing insulation. Maximize your home's efficiency. Call Hinges for all your insulation and fireplace needs.
Volkswagen Lease Summit has gone bonkers and is giving you 2 for 1 BOGO pricing. Lease a 2019 Jetta S for her and get him one too for only $339 a month. Or lease the brand new 2020 Tiguan S for yourself and get her a 2019 Jetta S. Only $477 a month for both. Lease the 2019 Atlas S SUV for the family and get yourself a 2019 Jetta S. Only $528 a month for both. This is a buy one, get one sale you don't want to miss. Mix and match your favorite models at VWLeeSummit.com.
Welcome back to KC End Zone. Guys, the 4 things to watch for.
All right, first and foremost, winning on first down. They're not going to stop Derrick Henry altogether. We know that. But if they can win first down, I believe that puts the defense in a better position to attack. And you got to make Ryan Tannehill try to beat you.
Yeah, but you do have to limit Derrick Henry. You can't let him go off. I think 150 yards has kind of been the barrier that everybody's been using. Make sure he doesn't get over that, because that means the Titans have controlled pretty much the game physically.
Yeah, Chiefs got to score first. This is contrarian play here, but I think if they win the toss, they take the ball instead of defending, go down, score first, put Tennessee in a bad position, because they're not used to playing from behind very much lately either.
Yeah, and you want to avoid special teams mistakes. I always say this about any postseason game. Special teams and turnovers make the difference in anything. A better team can lose because of those 2 things. Let's avoid them.
And we've seen it happen. Last year in Tennessee, almost last week.
Exactly.
And ask the New Orleans Saints about a home game. Minnesota Vikings
Drew
come
Brees'
in.
turnover was big.
Oh, Kirk Cousins comes in to be. So that's all right. Let's talk about who's going to win. I think we all agree on this. Let's take a look at our predictions. I like the Chiefs 34-24 to end 50 dead gum years of frustration. And I think they see the 49ers. Packers aren't going to win out in San Fran.
I'm in agreement with you on both. I think the Chiefs can outscore the Titans. I just don't believe the Titans can score enough points against the Chiefs. So I think the Chiefs will get 40, and I have the Titans there at 27 against Jimmy G and the Niners.
I do have the Chiefs winning 31-24, but I think they're playing the Packers. I think we see Super Bowl I rematch. So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
They'd be Super Bowl. Doesn't matter who they play at this point, right?
True.
We'll be back next week, hopefully talking about Miami from the KC End Zone. Go Chiefs.